Hi guys, welcome to another video. Welcome to our classroom. For today's video, we are going to talk about the learning and thinking styles and multiple intelligences. In our previous video, we have learned about the students' diversity, right? And we have said that one factor of diversity is the learning and thinking styles of students, and students have multiple intelligences. They are individually different from each other. Their learning and thinking skills are different from each other. That is why it adds to the diverse environment in your classroom. But again, we have also said that students' diversity should enhance or enrich your classroom or the learning environment. No? So, specifically in this video, we are going to talk about the learning and thinking styles and individual intelligences of our students. Particularly, our objectives would be describe the different learning, thinking styles, and multiple intelligences. Plan learning activities that match the learner's thinking styles and multiple intelligences. Okay, so one factor that brings about student diversity is the thinking and learning styles. I made that very clear in my other video. No? Individuals think and learn in distinct ways. In any group of learners, there will always be different learning characteristics, particularly in the learner's manner of processing information. There are some who are fast learners, some are not. No? Some can process through listening, some can process through reading. So we have different preferences or perspectives in learning. Okay, so some would absorb the lesson better if they work with a group. Okay, some would prefer working individually. Some would absorb better when they work with their hands, okay, actual, than when they listen. Okay, so magkakaiba yan. Others would prefer when they watch a video about the topic. Others would prefer reading it from the book. Others would prefer listening from the teacher in the classroom. Students likewise have preferred ways of expressing their thoughts, feelings, their opinions, their ideas in a certain topic. No? Some would prefer to write. Sulat nila. Some would prefer to stand and recite. Okay? Some would prefer to draw. Some would show it in abstract. Some could even dance or sing. No? These preferences involve thinking and learning styles and, of course, the multiple intelligences. So, every student in your classroom, since we are talking still about students' diversity, our students have different preferences in learning. They have their different learning and thinking styles. Okay? And you should be careful again so that at the end of the day, you have to plan on your lesson, plan the strategies, the assessment activities, the examples, or the way how you're going to explain the lessons because they have different preferences. No? Magkakaiba sila kung paano unawain ang mga bagay-bagay sa kanilang paligid or yung lesson mismo. So, one preference is the sensory preference. Individuals tend to gravitate towards one or two types of sensory inputs and maintain dominance in one of the following types. So, they may be dominant in one, some would be dominant in visual, or others are in auditory. Okay, so how are these two different? So, if we say visual learners, okay, visual learners must see their teacher's action and facial expressions to fully understand the content of the lesson. Yung nakatingin sila sa teacher. Okay. They use their visuals in order to understand the lesson, to absorb the lesson, to process the information. And we have two types of the visual learners. We have the visual iconic and the visual symbolic. If we say visual iconic, they are more interested in visual imagery. So, visual imagery like films, graphic, displays, or pictures in order to solidify their learning. So, they usually have a good picture memory. No? Natatandaan nila. Meron silang naiiwan sa kanilang imagination. Okay? Or the iconic imagery and attend to pictorial details. No? They would like to read maps better than to read a book. Okay, so image. When they see a map, they can easily tell where the place is, or they can easily describe, okay, or narrate. No? If they see a graphic, they can easily narrate. Okay, these are visual iconic. They use or they are interested more on visual imagery. While visual symbolic, they feel comfortable with abstract symbolism. Okay, so they feel comfortable with abstract symbolism like mathematical formula or the written word. No? Okay, so yung nakasulat or yung formula sa mathematics, mas gusto nila yon, abstract symbolism yon, no? So, iyon yung pagkakaiba, yun yung dalawang klase ng visual learners. Some are visual iconic and some are visual symbolic. Okay. Next one, we have the auditory learners. If you say auditory learners, they best learn through verbal lectures, discussions, talking things through, and listening to what others have to say. Okay. So, in here, kaninang ginagamit is the visual, no? Pagtingin. Ngayon naman, itenga, the listen. They listen to what others say. So, the learners, the auditory learners are divided into three. We have the listeners, the talkers, and the tactile or the kinesthetic learners. No? So, if you say listeners, they listen and easily remember things. Okay. Diba? Another one, the talkers. They are the ones who prefer to talk and discuss. Okay. So, alin ka dito? Yung iba nakikinig ka and then you easily understand. The others, they tend to talk. They recite, they discuss. No? They tell about what they feel. They are open to what they feel, no? And then, if we say kinesthetic learners, they benefit much from a hands-on approach, actively exploring the physical world around them. So, it's learning by doing. Naniniwala sila dito. So, little information may have little meaning to them, no? Until they do it. So, they benefit much from the hands-on approach. Actively exploring the physical world around them, they may find it hard to sit still for a long period of time. No? Hindi sila nakakatagal sa lecture. Okay? Kasi mas gusto nilang gumagawa na lang sila. So, they may find it hard to sit still during lectures, or they may not find the reading materials beneficial to them, no? Those who prefer this form of input move toward active sensory motor learning. They tend to prefer what they call learning by doing. They tend to have good motor memory and motor coordination. So, these are the action takers, no? They want to do it, perform it. So, the first one is the listeners, the listen. Number two are the talkers. They tend to translate everything to spoken words, or they are not easily distracted in their listening abilities, no? Diba? And of course, we have the tactile or the kinesthetic learners. Okay. Number two, preference is the global or analytic continuum. So, it says here that analytic thinkers, or the 3 C's, no, tend toward the linear step-by-step process of learning. So, global thinkers also, or the 4 C's, lean towards non-linear thought and tend to see the whole pattern rather than the particle element. So, if we say analytic thinkers, they look into the details, no? The details. If you say global thinkers, they look from the general to specific. No, baliktad naman. Analytic is specific to general. So, several theories have tied the global analytic continuum. They have tied this type of preference to the left brain or the right brain continuum. Sabi nila, inahati daw yung utak natin sa left and right, no? And in accord with the Rogers-Parris model, the left brain dominant individual is portrayed as linear or analytic, verbal mathematical thinker, while the right brain, okay, our person is one who is viewed as global, non-linear, and holistic in thought preference. So, according to Rogers-Parris, no, yung model na tinuro niya, magkaiba daw yung thinking ng left and right brain, no? So, kapag left brain ka, dominant sa'yo yung pagiging analytic mo or yung verbal and your mathematical abilities. No? So, let us look into this deeper, no? So, a simultaneous processor or the right brain, okay, prefers to learn beginning with the general concept then going to specific. So, kapag right brain ka, nag-i-start tayo sa general going to specific. Pinag-aaralan mo muna yung pangkalahatan or pangmalakihan bago mo pinag-aaralan yung mga detalye or the details. So, in this table, it shows the difference between the left brain and the right brain. Okay, so according again to Parris, no? So, left brain or the analytic and the right brain or global. So, successful hemispheric style and then simultaneous hemispheric style naman pag right brain. So, tingnan natin. Pag left brain, it's verbal. You are verbal. If you are right brain, you are visual. So, verbal yung isa, pasalita. Yung isa naman, visual. Nakatingin. Pag tinitingnan niya, natututo siya agad. Yung isa naman, pag nagsasalita siya. Okay. Left brain responds to word meaning. Okay. The right brain responds to tone of the voice. Okay, so sequential naman yung left brain, random yung right brain. Left brain responds to logic, right brain responds to emotions. Okay, so mas pa emotion, puso ginagamit niya, no? Yung isa naman logic, isip agad, no? What are the consequences? How about right brain, the response on how they feel. Okay, so left brain, they plans ahead, and then impulsive daw yung mga right brain. Well, that is according to a theory, right? Okay. Left brain, they recall people's name, recall people's faces. Ito, right brain siguro ako because I remember the face but I can't recall the name. I can't even recall where did I meet the person but I remember the face. Okay, ganun siguro. Pag ganito kayo, right brain kayo. Okay? Next one, left brain speaks with few gestures when speaking. Tama nga, right brain nga ako. I use my hands a lot as gestures while explaining or talking, no? Punctual ang left brain, less punctual ang right brain. Maybe. I'm not sure. Okay. Left brain, they prefers formal study design. They prefer sounds or music as a background. The right brain naman yon. And last one, for the left brain, they prefers bright lights while studying. Right brain, they prefers frequent mobility while studying. So, well, according to theory, ito daw ang pagkakaiba kapag ikaw ay left brain or right brain ka. Okay, so, let us talk about the learning styles by Harvey F. Silver in 2002. So, remember that we are talking about different learning styles of the learners, no, which make the classroom diverse. So, number one learning style according to Silver is ST or the sensing thinking or the mastery learner. So, here are the characteristics of the sensing thinking or the mastery learner. Efficient, results-oriented, preferring actions to words, and involvement to theory. Okay, so, action-oriented siya. Result-oriented siya. They prefer actions to words. Okay. They act, no? And then they involve themselves. Okay? They like to complete their work in an organized and efficient manner. So, they are very organized, efficient, no? They tend to be neat, well-organized, and precise in their work. So, may kasiguruduhin lahat. That is the mastery learner. Yun siya. So, kung ikaw ay naririto sa kanyang tawag natin dito, characteristics, baka ito ka. You are a mastery learner, no? They need to be kept busy and require immediate feedback. So, they make themselves busy and then they want feedbacks on how it went, how the action went, no? Ano ang comment sa kanya? Gusto nila ng feedback. They need to be active. So, mastery learners are active, no? They prefer step-by-step directions when assigned a task and become impatient if the instruction becomes long and involved. Okay? So, they prefer step-by-step pero mabilis. Ayaw nila yung masyadong magulo. No? They want to know exactly what is expected of them. They are very specific and precise. No? These are the mastery learner. Another one, they need clearly structured environments that focus on factual mastery of skills and an opportunity to apply them to something practical or to demonstrate proficiency. Okay. They prefer right or wrong questions to open-ended and interpretative ones. So, mas gusto nila yung true or false, right or wrong, than two open-ended and interpretive ones, no? They learn best from drill, demonstration, practice, and hands-on experience. So, these are mastery learners. They learn more or easily through drills, demonstration, practice, and of course, hands-on. Gusto nila ginagawa. They are action takers, right? Okay. Number two is the intuitive thinking or the understanding learner. So, kanina, ay mastery learner. Ngayon naman ay understanding learner tayo. Okay, so, they tend to be challenged intellectually and to think things through for themselves. So, they think. Nag-iisip sila muna for themselves. They intellectually think. No? They are curious about ideas like theory and complex problems. So, they are curious. They want to understand the theories, the complex problems, the formula. No? They approach learning in a logical, organized, systematic fashion, bringing organization and structure to people and things. So, logical, they are organized, they are systematic. They want to understand things first. Okay? While kanina, yung mastery learners, they act. Okay? They are precise in their actions. Intuitive thinking, they think logically, intellectually. Okay? They are curious about the theories and they want to understand it. They take time to plan. Yan. Organize ideas and determine necessary resources before beginning to work on an assignment. So, some students are like this, no? They take time to plan. They organize their ideas. Hindi sila ora-orada, no? Determine necessary resources. So, if there's a group activity, you can easily determine who is an intuitive thinker sa students mo because they cannot just plan as easy as what you expect, no? They need to consider where the resources coming from. They organize their ideas and then they take time in planning, no? And I think this is a good characteristic of a learner, right? So, they prefer to work independently or with other thinking types and require little feedback until their work is completed. So, kanina gusto niya may feedback agad, di ba? Ito naman, they want to complete the task first before accepting feedback. Oo nga naman. You can actually easily judge an output. But let them finish it. Look at the finished product before giving the feedback. So yun yung sa understanding learner or the intuitive thinking, no? So they tend to work independently and then finish a task before accepting feedbacks, no? They do not like being pressed for time. Okay. Because they take time to plan. Ayaw nilang masyadong mabilisan, no? When they are working on something of interest, time is meaningless. So, as long as the activity or the output will have a good result, then they don't consider the time. Even if it takes a longer period of time, for as long as they do what's the best or the best version of the output that they are going to submit is achieved. So, these are the learners. So, these are the intuitive thinking or the understanding learners. They have great patience and persistence. They can actually, destroy and build, redo and redo, until the perfection, no? They attack problems by breaking them down into their component parts. So, if there is a problem, they look into the details. Saan tayo nagkamali? Saan ang mababa, saan ang problema. So, they look into the details. They like to reason things out and to look for logical relationships. So, if they saw or determine where is the weakest link or the weakest part, then they will try to reason things out. And then they look for logic. They understand things using their brain and reasoning. Okay, so another, they are constantly asking the question why. Yan, bakit? So there are learners who tend to question why. Laging may bakit sa lahat ng pinag-uusapan. They are avid readers. Okay? So, learners, intuitive learners or thinkers are avid readers. And they have a facility for language and express their ideas into detail. So, while they keep on reading, they also express themselves through their ideas in detail. No? Okay? This is a general information, and then they are going to put some details, no? the ideas into details and explain things, no? in details also. They are concerned about being correct and strive for perfection. The intuitive thinking learners learns best from lectures, reading, and logical discussions and debates. So they tend to listen to lectures, they read, they discuss using logic and the debate. Okay, they argue a lot. Ibig sabihin, nilalaban nila kung anong gusto, alam nilang tama. So, these are intuitive thinkers, thinking learners. Intuitive thinking learners. Okay. So, yun ang dalawa na yung na-discuss natin. Next one is the sensing feeling or the interpersonal learners. They are sensitive to people's feelings, their own, and others. So, ang ginagamit naman dito kanina is logic. Ito na, yung first is action. Second is logic. Ito naman, puso, no? They have a feeling. They are sensitive to the feelings of others, no? And of course, their feelings too. They prefer to learn about things that directly affect people's lives rather than in personal facts and theories. So, lagi-lagi sinasabing, anong epekto nito sa buhay ng bayan? Sa buhay ng tao? So, lagi-lagi, they always connect all the lessons or understandings or the topics directly to what other people feel or their life, okay? Their future. Yes. They take a personal approach to learning. They work best when emotionally involved in what they are being asked to learn. So, especially if they are learning about literature, no? They tend to compare themselves to the main character, maybe. Okay? So, they're emotionally involved with the topic, and they can best learn from it if they are involved emotionally. That's the meaning of it. They tend to be spontaneous and often act on impulse in terms of what feels right. So, kung ano yung nararamdaman mong tama sa oras na yun yung ginagawa. So, they are quite impulsive. They don't think logically. Parang hindi priority ang reasoning, but what they feel on that moment, they're gonna do it, no? That would be their decision based on the feeling on that certain period of time. They're interested in people and like to listen to and talk about people and their feelings. So, this is not maritesing, no? But students who are sensing feeling learners, they're interested in people. They're interested in people, not to make chismis on that certain person, but they like to listen and talk about people and their feelings. And they learn from them. They learn from these feelings, from these thoughts, no? They take from other people. So, they tend to listen, but they do not chismis, no? Their topics is based on the lives and feelings of others, and they learn from it, no? They like to be helpful to others and need to be recognized for their efforts. So, they are helpful for others, but they need also to be recognized. Inaantay nila na dapat ipagmalaki sila or pasalamatan sila. Yun. They enjoy personal attention. So, these students, if you have this type of students, you give them the reward and punishment. Praise them, no? And if they did wrong, give them punishments. If they did good, you praise them, give them rewards, because these students tend to enjoy personal attention from you. Okay? Or let them lead. Give them the opportunity to lead the group. Call them for recitation. They need attention. Okay? So, huwag mong ipagwalang bahala. They need to feel relaxed, comfortable, and to enjoy themselves when they learn. So, these students tend to to ask for freedom while they're learning. They want to sit in a place where no one disturbs them, no? And then they learn comfortably, no? So, ayaw nilang napapakialaman. They enjoy while learning for as long as they feel relaxed. They don't want to be stressed out, okay? They like to think out loud, to work with other students, to share the ideas, and to get the reactions of their friends. So, these students, this type of students, the sensing, feeling learners, they like to work with others. So, they want group activities. They want collaboration, wherein they can share their ideas, no? They get reactions of their friends. Remember that this type of students or these types of individuals like attention. They want attention from others, no? That is why they like to share their ideas, because they want to get reaction from the other people or their friends or maybe their classmates, no? In that certain time, no? Especially so, if you talk about a certain topic, they tend to give their idea, share with you, and then they tend to wait for how these students or the listeners would react on what they have said. Okay. Another, they prefer cooperation to competition. And they need reassurance or praise that lets them know that they are doing well. So, this is what I'm telling. They need to be praised. Okay? To be rewarded with praise. Galing-galing mo, galing-galing. So, if you are teaching in high school, no? Minsan yung type of giving rewards, maybe by points, bibigyan mo silang additional points, or let the class clap for them, no? So that they will feel that they are doing great. They are not attention seekers, but they just want to feel that they did something good. Okay? And that will make themselves feel good also. So, reassure them that they are doing great through giving them praise, giving them rewards. Since this type of students, they cooperate, no? They tend to cooperate in group activities because they want that feedback from other people. They are greatly influenced by the likes and dislikes of others. So, kumbaga, ang mga ito naman kasi emotion sila. So, naaapektuhan sila or they are being influenced also by the likes, anong gusto at hindi gusto ng iba. If there's a group activity, they listen. Okay? And they are being affected on how the other members react. If this is what the majority wants, then this will be done, no? So, they are being influenced by the likes and dislikes of others. And then the last one is we have the intuitive feeling or the self-expressive learner. Intuitive feeling learners, this type of learner learns best from group experience and projects, loving attention, personal expression, and personal encounters, and role-playing. So, ito naman, pinaghalo-halong intuitive feeling and then action, no? So, they love to participate in a group, but they love also personal encounters and they take actions. Like, they love role-playing, no, drama, etc., etc. They are the ones who dare to dream, are committed to their values, are open to alternatives, and are constantly searching for new and unusual way to express themselves. So, they tend to listen and learn more and more and more every day. Okay. They are committed, then open-minded, and they constantly learn. They constantly find ways to learn and to make themselves better. Okay. They approach learning eager to explore ideas, generate new solutions to problems, and discuss moral dilemmas. So, these types of learner, they express or explore ideas. No. They generate new solutions. So, these are what we call solution seekers. No. They discuss moral dilemma. Okay? This is very important to them, no? Kasi self-expressive sila eh. Okay? They express themselves. So, in expressing themselves, is it, morally upright ba yung ginagawa nila? Or, that is why they keep on discussing the moral dilemma. Is it good? Is it beneficial to all? Or beneficial to few? Their interests are varied and unpredictable, but they prefer activities which allow them to use their imaginations and to do things in unique ways. This is what I'm telling a while ago. They participate in groups, these types of learners, and they want to act. No, they want to act. They prefer activities that would allow them to imagine, to explore, and to try something new in their own unique ways. So, this type of learners, just give them a chance. Just give them a chance to plan. Okay? And then allow them to show and then send them the feedback. Okay? They do not like routine or rote assignments and prefer questions which are open-ended, such as, what would happen if? Ayan. So, this type of learners wants open-ended questions. Yung walang tamang sagot. Everyone is free. Everyone is free to divert their thinking on the possibilities. Okay, so the questions would be like this. What would happen if you are learning about literature? What would happen if Awiyaw did not follow the culture of the Ifugaos? Okay. So you gonna make the students would gonna have different reactions. Okay. They will have different opinions here. This is a challenge to the learners, but for the intuitive feeling learners, this is what they want. They want questions that would challenge, okay, the possibilities of reasoning, okay, the possibilities of imagining. Remember, they want to imagine something new, no? They are highly motivated by their own interests. Things of interest will be done inventively well. When working on a project that interests them, time is meaningless. So, parehas lang. So, again, they are attentive. They are attentive to projects. They are motivated to do something new. They are interested in plotting something new. Okay? And then, when they are working on projects, no, they also take time to make it the best version. Okay? Independent and do not fear being different. So, this self-expressive learner kasi to, no? Wala silang pakialam sa kanilang paligid. They express through their body language, the way they think, the way they talk, the way they move their hands, their gestures, etc., etc. They are independent and they do not fear being different. Kakaiba sila eh. But hindi sila natatakot. No? So, if you have this type of learners, you have to understand them also. They are just being expressive. Huwag mo silang pagalitan, di ba? It's because this is type of learner. You have to accept it na may ganitong klaseng learner. They are sensitive to beauty and symmetry and will comment on the aesthetic characteristics of things. So, they love beautiful things. And then, they tend to comment for something beautiful. Okay. They might appreciate your new shoes, the way you trimmed your hair, okay? The way you put some makeup. So, these are things that a self-expressive learner would do. So, they are sensitive to beauty. They appreciate beauty. Okay? They prefer not to follow step-by-step procedure, but rather move where the intuition takes them. So, they do not follow the process as it is, but they take a leap. They take a lead. They try something new. Ito yung sinasabi ko kanina. They are very independent. So, if this is the process, well, let's take this road. Okay, sabi niya, ito yung proseso, ito kayang gawin natin. So, very sila, no? Very, matapang silang gumawa ng bago. And then, they break the norm, no? The process, or the step-by-step process. They do what they want, and then they try new procedures, no? Prefer to find their own solutions rather than being told what to do or how to do it. So, instead of waiting for someone who could dictate them and tell them what to do, this type of learners prefer to make their own solutions. Gagawa silang sariling solusyon at paninindigan nila yan. They do not need other people to tell them what to do, but they are going to make a solution on their own. That is the intuitive feeling learner or the self-expressive learner. Often take circuitous routes to solving problems and may not be able to explain how they arrive at the answer. So, minsan, di ba ito yung process, pero hindi nila sinunod. They go to another process, no? Their own process, and then they solve the problems, no? But they do not explain. Paano? They don't explain what happened in the process or how did they come up with that certain answer for as long as they've answered it correctly. Basta ayaw nilang i-explain kung paano. Okay? They are flexible in thought and action. So, they are flexible in thought and action. Diba? Because they are independent. So, pwede pagawa ito and then later on, pwedeng mabago. They are very flexible. Not likely to be disturbed by changes in routine and they are comfortable working with a minimum of direction. So, may mga ganitong klaseng estudyante no, na hindi kailangang diktahan. They give them chance. Okay? And they will work comfortably. No? Learns best from creative and artistic activities. Open-ended discussion or personal and social values and activities that enlighten and enhance meets human achievements, drama, etc. So, they are very creative. They are very artistic. No? They love open-ended questions and personal and social values also. So, self-expressive kasi sila. No? So, they are very artistic. This kind of students would express themselves using their art. No? So, that's it. That's the 4 types of learning styles of, according to, who is that again? That's according to Silver. Okay. Next one, we have the Kolb theory of learning styles. Ito naman, theory of learning styles according to Kolb. So, let's look into this. It says here that concrete experience being involved in a new experience. He divided experiences into 4, no? Yung according to the theory of Kolb's learning styles, is divided into 4. Okay, sabi niya, we have the concrete experience, the reflective observation, the abstract conceptualization, and the active experimentation. So let us look into this. So, number 1 is a concrete experience wherein being involved in a new experience. So, concrete experience, you are involved. The learners here they involve themselves. Okay? They involve themselves in a certain activity. Okay? That is a concrete experience. Reflective observation, watching others or developing observations about his own experience. So, ito naman, reflective observation is watching others. No? They tend to watch others and then develop observations without their own experience. No? They do not involve, but they watch. No? Okay? They watch. They do not involve. And then they make observations. They develop observations or reflective observations about the experiences. Okay. Abstract conceptualization, creating theories to explain observations. So in here, you create theory, the possibilities, the reasons why. Learners here tend to understand what's happening through creating theories or reasoning out, okay, to explain the observations. Remember, reflective observation, you are there watching, and then you develop observations. Abstract conceptualization, you create theories or reasons for you to explain the observations earlier made. Okay, so there are learners who are like this, no? They tend to think and then explain things. Their observations. It comes from reasoning, no? Active experimentation, using theories to solve problems, make decisions. So, active experimentation, there are learners also that while making the theory, they use this to solve the problems and make decisions. They are independent. They take the lead and then they make decisions of their own. They do not need others to explain for them, but then based from the theory that they have personally gathered or personally created, then they solve the problems or they make their own decisions. So that is according to Kolb's theory of learning styles. So we are moving on to the theories of intelligence. If you say intelligence in Filipino, karunungan, okay? Madunong, inteligente. So the intelligence, it is the capacity to acquire knowledge. Your intelligence is your capacity to acquire knowledge. That is why we have different levels of intelligence. There are some who are super intelligent. There are some who are just in the middle, or others are slow. They are not intelligent talaga. Aminin man natin o hindi, meron talaga. Okay, so the ability to think and reason in the abstract and the capability of solving problems. So, intelligence is your capacity to acquire knowledge. Kakayahan mong makaunawa at makatanggap ng bagong kaalaman. It is your ability to think and reason in the abstract. Okay, so, kakayahan mong mag-isip at mag-reason out. Okay, magbigay dahilan. Sumagot ng tanong na paano at bakit. Okay? And of course, your capability, kakayahan mo to solve problems. It's your ability to solve problems. Okay? It's either the mathematical problem or the problems brought by the questions why, okay? How, or state and explain. So, intelligence. And remember that in a classroom, we have different levels of intelligence. Don't ever compare a student to other student in terms of intelligence. We are different. Even if they're brothers and sisters, avoid comparing the kids, especially siblings, when it comes to intelligence. No? It will not do good to your kids. Okay? Especially if you are a teacher, don't ever compare. Buti pa ito, ang dunong-dunong niya. Okay? So, of course, sometimes it happens in a class wherein your professors would compare you to the other section. So, buti pa yung klaseng yun, nagre-recite sila, ganito, ganito, ganito. Those are normal. But, no one among your professor would call you, buti pa silang gagaling, samantalang kayong bobobo, di ba? So, hindi ganun kabrutal ang comparison. But my point is, students come in a classroom with different levels of intelligence. Magkakaiba sila ng level. But, pare-parehas lang naman na nakakaunawa, hindi lang siguro pare-parehas ng timing or yung oras, yung haba ng oras ng pangunawa doon sa certain topic. Okay, so we have to remember that any theory of intelligence, according to Sternberg, must be able to do three things. So, ito dapat daw, kung pinag-uusapan natin ay ang theories of intelligence, dapat daw ay this theory should do three things. Number one, relate intelligence to an individual's internal world and explain what happens when a person thinks intelligently. So, you have to you relate this intelligence to individual's world, individual's thinking, and explain kung anong mangyayari sa tao kapag intelihente siya o hindi. Okay? Accept the relation between the external world and the person's intelligence. There's always a relationship between the external world and the intelligence of the person. Alin at alin ang nakakaapekto sa dalawa. Maaring vice versa. The person's intelligence might affect the external world, or maybe the external world affects the person's intelligence. Either. Okay? So, you have to accept that they have relationship. Okay? One affects the other. Relate intelligence to individuals' experiences. Okay, so, sometimes, your experiences, the individual experiences of your students has something to do with the level of their intelligence. Or, it's either their intelligence have something to do with understanding their own experiences. Diba? So, these are the three things that a theory must do, or the theory of intelligence must do. That's according to Sternberg in 1986. Okay, so, let's look into the Howard Gardner's theory of multiple intelligences. Okay, so, multiple intelligences. Remember na walang isang taong nasa kanya lahat ang dunong at galing. But, we are individuals who are capable of having this, multiple intelligences. Hindi lang naman iisa ang forte natin. Marami yan. And then, yun ang maganda sa ating mga tao. Okay? Kaya doon tayo nakakaangat. Because, we have what we call the multiple intelligences. And you can have this. But you cannot have it all. No? Parang imposible naman yata na nasa iyo lahat. Meron siguro, kaya lang syempre hindi lahat nasa highest level ka, di ba? Okay, so intelligence as an ability or set of abilities that allows a person to solve a problem or fashion a product that is valued in one or more cultures. So, if we say intelligence, according to Howard Gardner, it's the ability or set of abilities that allows a person to solve problem. Okay? Inaalaw niya to ang tao, this intelligence equipped and allows the person to understand things, and then it allows the person to solve problems. If we do not think, then we cannot solve anything. We cannot understand anything if we do not think. So intelligence is your ability, the set of ability for you to understand things and for us to solve problems. Okay, so what are, according to Howard Gardner, the theory of multiple intelligences? We have the verbal linguistics. Alam na natin to, no? Pasadahan na lang natin. We have learned this one. I don't know if what subject, but I am sure that you have already learned this, Gardner's multiple intelligences. So, we have the verbal linguistics intelligence or the word smart. Yan ang tawag sa kanila, they're word smart. Involves sensitivity to spoken and written language. So, there are students, okay, who tends to do good in spoken and written language at the same time, no? The ability to learn languages and the capacity to use language to accomplish certain goals. So, verbal linguistic intelligence involves sensitivity to spoken words and written words, and of course, the ability to learn languages, no? There are some who can speak one or two or more languages at the same time, no? If they cannot speak, at least they can understand, no? It's the capacity to use language to accomplish certain goals. So, you use your language in order to make an output. So, verbal linguistic intelligence yon. This intelligence includes the ability to effectively use language to express oneself rhetorically or poetically, and language as a means to remember information. So, verbal linguistic intelligence allows you to express yourself. It's either rhetorically or poetically or through writing or through speaking. Some of us, although some of us tends to write, okay, some of us tends to speak, and it's normal. It's very normal. But this certain intelligence, the verbal linguistic or the word smart na sinasabi natin, it allows every individual to express their ideas, either written or spoken. Okay. Next one, if we have the logical or the mathematical intelligence. Ito naman, sabi nila kabaliktaran daw to nung verbal linguistics. Maybe it's true in some other individuals like me. I love languages, but I do not exert more on mathematics. Parang ganon. Okay, so let us try to look into the logical or mathematical intelligence. Another term here is the number smart or the logic smart. Kanina is word smart. Ngayon naman ay number smart or logic smart. Consists of the capacity to analyze problems logically, carry out mathematical operations, and investigate issues scientifically. Okay, ito na. The mathematicians fall here. The statisticians, no? Okay, the scientists, they fall here. Because they analyze problems, okay, issues logically, they know how to use mathematical operations, and then, of course, scientifically investigate issues, okay? Everything is based on science and reasoning. No? It entails the ability to detect patterns, reason deductively, and think logically. This intelligence is most often associated with scientific and mathematical thinking. So, as I've said a while back, this is the capability or the intelligence that the mathematician or scientist possess. Next one is the musical intelligence. Of course, these are the music smart. Okay. Sabi nila, huwag mo daw pahawakin ang Pilipino ng mikropono kasi kakainin niya yan talaga. Meaning to say, Filipinos are singers, or they are singers maybe, but not everyone is a musician. Because if we talk about the term musician, iba yon sa singer, magkaiba sila. Technically, the musicians oversee everything. The singer would execute what the musicians made or planned, okay? So, musical intelligence or the music smarts involves skills in the performance, composition, and appreciation of musical patterns. So, maybe we have all this intelligence also because appreciation of musical patterns. So, maybe musical intelligence ay meron din ako. Kasi I appreciate music so much. Pwede rin yun, pasok, no? Ilusot natin para magkaroon tayo ng ganong intelligence. Okay. It encompasses the capacity to recognize and compose musical pitches, tones, and rhythms. So, maybe, pwede rin namang nating sabihin, alam ko namang, naririnig ko naman pag out of tune. So, maybe I have this intelligence also. Musical intelligence runs in an utmost structural patterns to linguistic intelligence also. Okay. Bodily kinesthetic intelligence. Ito naman ang mga body smart. Okay. They tend to move their body to express their feelings, their thoughts, their ideas. Okay, so entails the potential of using one's whole body or parts of the body to solve problems. Okay, they are action takers, no? They use their body to solve actions and to express. It is the ability to use mental abilities to coordinate bodily movements. So these are the dancers, okay? The sports-minded people. So Gardner sees mental and physical activity as related. So sabi nila, kapag daw medyo stress ka na, you move your body. And nakakatanggal daw talaga ng stress. Since it starts with the mental and then you have to move your body to get away from those stress. So maybe we are all bodily kinesthetic, intelligent also in our own little ways, no? Because we appreciate these little things that the body can do. Okay, expressing your thoughts using your body or solving problems using your body parts, no? Or learning by doing or doing the things that you need to do. Okay, visual spatial intelligence, or these are what you call the picture smart. In here, involves the potential to recognize and use the patterns of wide space and more confined areas. It refers to those skills involving special configurations such as those used by artists and architects. Okay, so ito naman, para ito sa mga mahilig mag-imagine. Okay, visual spatial, no? They can easily imagine saan dapat na ilalagay ito, okay, paano yung measurement niya, and then how is it, the style, and everything. So, minsan kapag nakakakita ka ng drawing ng isang architect or ng isang engineer, no, di ba, hindi natin naiintindihan ang daming numbers and daming linya. Well, visual spatial, for them, they can easily understand. For us, which do not have this, or maybe we have this pero a little lang, maliit lang, konti lang, a small percentage, then at least we can understand also. A little amount, or a little percentage, I mean. But for the visual spatial, intelligent people, they can easily interpret the works of the artists, the architects. I can remember one artist have shown a drawing, no? Tapos ang daming nagsasabi, ang ganda, ganito, ganito. Parang kung hindi ko makita yung ganda. Meron yung ganon, no, na parang, ba't para sa kanila ang ganda? Ba't parang sa akin, hindi ko makita na saan yung ganda? Kasi nga, hindi tayo magkakaiba nung intelligence meron tayo. Individual differences pa rin yun, okay? Magkakaiba tayo. But, of course, we have the issue on multiple intelligences wherein, maybe we have this, but just a little percentage, no? Okay. Interpersonal intelligence or the people smart. Ayan. Kanina ay picture smart, ngayon naman ay people smart. Is concerned with the capacity to understand the intentions, motivations, and desires of other people. It allows people to work effectively with others. So, this is your capability. The capability or the capacity to understand the people around you. To understand your environment. To motivate others, your desire to work with people, okay? So it allows you also to work effectively with others. Interpersonal intelligence gives you the capability to talk with others, to work with them, okay? Even in dilemma, you can work with them. Kahit ayaw mo, you can still work with them. So people smart, you can easily deal with people. May mga ibang estudyante na natatakot sa ibang tao, no? They do not know how to deal with other people. Some also are people smart, okay? Yung meron silang capability na kaupo mo lang, later on kachika mo na, later on kaibigan mo na, 'di ba? So, ganun. People smart ang tawag natin. Not everyone have this one, okay? We have the intrapersonal intelligence or self-smart. Kanina, people smart, ngayon naman ay self-smart. So, it entails the capacity to understand oneself, to appreciate one's feelings, fears, and motivations. It involves having an effective working model of ourselves and to be able to use such information to regulate our lives. So this is about you. You're understanding your own self, no? Overcoming or appreciating your feeling, overcoming your fears, and then motivating yourself. So it says here that it involves having an effective working model to ourselves. So we learn something, or we learn something from other, and then we apply it in our own selves, no? I-apply natin yung nakita natin sa iba sa ating sarili. And then we will be able to use this information to at least regulate our lives. Maybe we have watched a movie, nakita natin ang ganda-ganda yung ginawa ng character doon. Gagawin din natin. And then it motivates ourselves. And it regulates our lives. It teaches us. So you are teaching your own self. Okay? That is self-smart. Okay? So, remember, the 7 intelligences rarely operate independently. So, yung mga intelligences na yon na nako-combine natin sa iba. Hindi naman iisa lang ang dunong mo, di ba? Marami yan. Yung iba siguro, konti lang, pero nag-stand out yung iba. But, they rarely operate independently. They work together. Okay? They are intertwined. Okay? With each other. So, it says here that, after having this seven intelligence theory, meron pang nabuo, based dito sa 7 na theory na to, may nabuong 2 pang teorya. Tingnan natin kung ano yung mga doon. Alin ang mga yon. We have the naturalist intelligence, okay? Or the nature smart. From the word nature, alam mo na tungkol ito sa mga paligid natin, environment, the flora and fauna, etc., etc. So it enables human beings to recognize, categorize, and draw upon certain features of the environment. So I guess we need this intelligence, every one of us, especially that we are suffering from the extreme change of our environment. We need to take care of our environment. It's going nowhere. Okay? Konting bagyo lang, baha na tayo, di ba? So, it has something, naturalist intelligence has something to do with you understanding the nature, understanding your environment, the features that it holds, no? It combines an understanding of nature and making distinctions. So, okay? Alin ang tama, alin mali, no? And also, it includes identifying the flora and the fauna. So, naturalist intelligence. Another one is we have here the fluid. Yeah, the fluid intelligence. Ano to? It's the ability to develop techniques for solving problems that are new and unusual from the perspective of the problem solver. It reflects reasoning, memory, and information processing capability. So, you call this one? You do the unusual from the perspective of the other people or the problem solver. So, it includes your reasoning or the reasoning capability, the memory and information processing capability. So, fluid intelligence tends to develop techniques for solving problems. So, if we talk about problem solving, we have the fluid intelligence. Ito yung isosolve mo yung problema gamit ang logic, the information, the processing capability, and then of course, the reasoning. And then we have the last one, the crystallized intelligence is the ability to what? The ability to bring previously acquired, often culturally defined problem-solving methods to bear on the current problems. It refers to the skills, information, and strategies that people have learned through experiences. Visual spatial reasoning is somewhat specializes ability to use visual images and visual relationships in problem solving. For instance, to construct in your mind a picture of the sort of mental space that is used in discussing factor analytic studies. So, visual spatial reasoning is specialized ability. So, kumbaga kakaiba itong abilidad ng isang tao, which uses visual images and visual relationship in problem solving. Sabi nga nito, parang, for instance, to construct in your mind a picture of the sort of mental space that is used in discussing factor analytic studies. Tawag natin dito, sa literature, meron tayong tinatawag na alternate universe stories, or these are fictions, no? So, you use this space for you to reason out. You use this space for you to make your own world, okay? And to create a story, no? Na ikaw lang yung nakakapag-imagine sa space na to. You use visual images in order to reason out or to make something new from what you already know. Okay? So, and another one, ginagawa mo ito para mapahaba or mapalawak ang isang issue or isang topic. You imagine a certain space. Okay? Imagine a certain space with your own mental judgment, no? You imagine maybe an alternate universe or an alternate world where everything is possible. Okay? That is visual spatial reasoning. So you solve your problems using images or your imaginations and a visual relationship between problem solving. Yung how to solve a problem using kumbaga parang using the possibilities. You try to imagine something. If it is the solution, then it will happen like this and like that. Okay. So, let's move on with the David Perkins theory of intelligence. IQ has 3 major components or dimensions. So, according to David Perkins, we have the 3 major components of IQ. We have the neural intelligence, efficiency and precision of one's neurological system. Okay. A child's neural intelligence can be adversely affected by the mother's use of drugs such as alcohol or cocaine during pregnancy. So, ito, yung pagde-develop pa lang ng utak ng bata, meron nang nagagawa upon conception and upon, what do you call this one, pregnancy of the mother, no? So, according to science, naaapektuhan yung utak ng bata dahil sa drugs na tinatake ng mother. Okay? So, another one here is the lack of vitamins. It can affect the neural intelligence. So, yung madedevelop yung natural na sa utak ng bata habang bata pa, naaapektuhan ito kapag hindi sapat na pag-aalaga ang ibibigay ng nanay sa bata. And it will cause damage while the individual is growing up. No? So, ito ang ibig sabihin nito ay kailangan nating kailangan nating alagaan habang baby pa at ipinagbubuntis pa yung utak ng bata, no? So, kailangan maalagaan yun para sa ganun magiging maganda yung development na in the future. So, neural intelligence. Experiential intelligence, one's accumulated knowledge and experience in different areas. While growing up, you will acquire knowledge from your environment, from other people, from experiences. It can be thought as the accumulation of all one's expertise. So, whatever you learn from each individual that you talk with, okay, the individual that you go with, okay, yung nakakasama mo, sharing of experiences, na-accumulate yon at nagiging sarili mo na ring dunong. No? Parang tayo, kapag speaker tayo, no, we tend to listen from other scholars, other speakers, and then we try to collect their good ideas and then, okay, we collate and then make our own lecture. Diba? So, yung expertise nila na-accumulate, nagiging expertise na rin natin. Diba? So, based on years and years of accumulating knowledge and experience in both informal and formal learning environments. So, these are the intelligences or the learnings that we learn growing up from the environment or in either formal or informal environments, in school and outside school. Sabi nila, mas naapektuhan daw ang bata ng outside world, of course, outside the school and outside of the home. Well, maybe. Okay. But these times, the attitude and the intelligence or the capability of a certain individual is merely affected by the digital world, no? So, yung mga bata ngayon, naapektuhan yung kanilang learning dahil sa internet. Aminin man natin o hindi, no? Rarely yung makikita mo na yung kids na naglalaro ng laro ng lahi or whatever, they tend to put themselves in the digital world, no? So nawawala na yung ibang dapat nilang matutunan. It is very alarming, no? So, growing up, let us teach these children to go back also to the history. Subukan nating bumuo din ng isang pag-uugnay sa nakaraan natin para sa ganun ay matutunan ng bata at maitanim sa kanyang isip na meron siyang pinagmulang roots, okay? Na ito pala yung laro noon at hindi lang puro ML, di ba? So, informal and formal environment or learning environment affects how the child grows up or how his attitude, emotions, etc., etc. Sometimes these kids growing up, they develop their IQ mataas pero their EQ is very low. Okay. Yung malaki sa digital world, takot sila sa tao. Kasi mag-isa lang sila sa kwarto lagi 'di ba? So, especially during the pandemic, no, na they tend to have their online classes alone. And then kapag dumating na yung face to face, parang mayroong silang takot, no? So, experiential intelligence here meaning to say, this is what you accumulated while growing up from different learning environments, either formal, informal, digital, etc., etc. Reflective intelligence, according to Perkins, no, one's broad-based strategies for attacking problems for learning and for approaching intellectually challenging tasks includes attitudes that supports persistence, systematization, and imagination, includes self-monitoring and self-management. So, reflective intelligence is your own reflection of things around you. It includes your attitudes. How are you tending to these challenges that comes to your life every day? Your imagination, your self-monitoring. Do you allow yourself to monitor your own self din? Tama ba yung ginawa ko? Or hindi na? Hindi nyo na iniisip yun. Especially so, if you did something, okay? You decided something and you did something. We should stop and then self-reflect. Okay? Self-monitoring. Am I doing good? Physically, mentally, spiritually, etc.? So, the reflective intelligence are strategies for attacking problem or solving problem, okay? For approaching intellectually challenging tasks. Don't ever remove the word intellectually, meaning to say you have to use your brain in order to attack these challenges, no? Hindi lang yung sasabihin mo na tawag natin dito. You let other people decide for you. No. You have to decide intellectually to things around you. And then, it should be very systematic. When you decide on things, you should learn how to make systematic reasoning intellectually also. And then, after which, you have to self-monitor. Self-reflection ang tawag natin doon. And then, you manage your own. Okay? Sometimes kids tend to be affected with their classmates, no? So you try also to teach your students later on, especially if they are high school, na huwag masyadong magtiwala sa kakayahan ng iba, kundi mas magtiwala dapat sa sarili. That is the best thing that you have to teach your kids or your students in the future. Then we have here the existential intelligence or the spirit smart, no? So, concerned with ultimate issues. Spirit smart. Existential intelligence, no? People who possess this intelligence learn by seeing the big picture. Okay, so, kumbaga parang pinangungunahan na nila ang lahat. Okay? Pinangungunahan na nila lahat. They can see the larger picture. And then, they tend to talk about the issues around them. Okay? They are existential intelligence. They can see everything, and they tend to reason out. They tend to discuss these issues around them. Okay, so these people possess the intelligence to learn by seeing the larger picture. Okay, this intelligence seeks connections to real world understanding and application of new learning. So for them, learning should be connected with the real world, no, sa totoong mundo, no. Hindi lang siya imagination, but everything that you do, everything that an individual do, should be connected with the real world, the understanding of their environment, the understanding of their bayan or their nation, no? So, it is very important, this type, no, of intelligence is very important to each and every individual like you and like me, no? So we have to possess this one so that we will be able to seek connection in everything we do with people and the environment. So if I decide this, okay, if I will do this, will it affect? Will it do good or nah? Okay, so remember, always remember that your classroom composed of well-diverse individual. They come into class coming from different cultures, races, language, etc., etc. So they are different from each, no? They are different. So handling these students is quite hard, especially they have different learning techniques, learning environment that they came from, no? They have different learning strategies and their capabilities, their intelligence, no? The level of intelligence. But again, remember that every child has different learning styles and pace. So they have different styles, but they can be there. They can understand. They will understand. That is, of course, the hope of every teacher. But again, they have different paces. Magkakaiba sila nung usad, no? Yung iba mabagal, yung iba mabilis. So, each child is unique. Not only capable of learning, but also capable of succeeding. So, remember, do not judge each student. So, every individual is unique. They are capable, not only for learning, but also they are capable of succeeding. Give them chance. And then, you try to facilitate learning better. And look, and see, and expect, and hope that these students would do better in the future. One time when these students would come back and say, "Thank you, ma'am. At least you pushed me harder to do good, to recite, to write, to make myself comfortable in the classroom, okay? To understand the value of reading, etc., etc." These small things could affect the learner, no? We have different students, we have well-diverse classroom with different levels of intelligence, but always remember, put it in your mind that each child will understand each lesson with different pace at their time, at their own time. And each child is unique in his own way. And each child is capable of learning. No? They can learn. And of course, they are capable of succeeding. They can succeed. Okay? Huwag mo namang walain yung pambihirang pagkakataong yun ng bata. Ibigay natin sa kanila. What you need to do is to facilitate, to guide, and of course, to appreciate if they do something good. So, I hope that this lesson have brought you to the world of multiple intelligences and the different learning styles, and it enable everyone to understand that each student is unique, each student has their own learning styles and capabilities, that each student has multiple intelligence. Okay, so we just need to discover and enhance this intelligence that our students already possess. Thank you so much. I hope that next video, you will be here again to watch and to learn with me. Always remember, sa ating classroom, sa Astrid's classroom, lahat ay matututo kahit magkakalayo. You take care. I'll see you next video. Thank you so much.